Welcome back to the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by Engine Oil Direct. We're here at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, otherwise known as Interlagos. I'm known as Andrew Woodhouse. Alex Simpson is alongside me as well for this one, round number 14.
Good to be back. Another exciting race coming up, I think. Looking for an interesting one with this reverse grid.
Yeah, not got a long time before the start of the race, only a couple of minutes, but we can tell you that Wojciech Swidovic has extended his championship lead to 95 points after finishing just ahead of Stefan Hoog in the previous race. Jamie Rushworth is now up into the top 3, and with Andreas Katz down to 4th. Then Simon Field in 5th, David Baker 6th. Still not surprising after his 6th place finish in race 1. Linus Broström, Ben Gregory, Russell Laidler and Laura Bond round out the top 10. Alex, we've got Richard Wilde on pole for this one. What are you expecting here?
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance actually. Richard, you know, we see him feature quite strongly in some races, and I think actually he's got a good chance of a good result here.
Yeah, he's a quick driver and a quick team, and we'll see what he can do here. Reverse grid. Quickly take you through it about 30 seconds before they start to take to the grid. Richard Wilde obviously on pole, as we said. Julian Janowski in 2nd, Mark Kardich 3rd, Matt Walker 4th, also on row 2. Alexander Smolensky and Aaron Gearing are on row 3. And it's all Elite 224th row, Laura Bond and Ellis Stevens. Linus Broström for Lugnuts Racing in 9th, and Simon Field is 10th. Stefano Giuriali and Tim Mawson make up the All Privateer, row 6. David Baker is 13th. Ashley Sutton 14th. Those two came to blows in race 1. Let's watch that. Stefan Hoog in 15th, and Wojciech Swidovic in 16th. Jacobo Lopez 17th, and Jamie Rushworth 18th, who won race 1 after Jacobo Lopez moved across and let him take the checkered flag. And then you got Russell Laidler in 19th, and Ben Gregory from 41st on the grid to 20th. But again, Alex, the dice didn't go his way.
No, exactly. Just a couple of higher numbers, and he'd have been all good.
Indeed. Speaking of high numbers, over 40 cars on this grid here in Interlagos. One of the best tracks, I think, in the world of motor racing. It's fast, it's flowing, it's exciting, and the reverse grid should throw up some major difficulties for all the drivers involved. Alex, who's your tip for the win? About 30 seconds before we start.
Oh, that's a tough one. Do you know what? I'm actually going to go with Wilde to win this one. I think he actually has a chance. I know he's on pole and things like that, but do you think he's got a chance here?
I do think what Wilde has in his favour, doesn't have anybody who stands out massively behind, with all due respect to the drivers just behind him. Nobody who really looks like they can be a massive threat here. The lights are about to come on. Red lights coming on now. The green light is on, and it was a good start from Julian Janowski from 2nd place. Wilde got away pretty well down towards turn 1. 2 Lugnuts Racing cars in there, and I think Simon Field way up the inside. Both cars going sideways at the front of the field.
Yeah, I was expecting a big one, but managed to hold on to that there. Could have easily been.
And Kardich is through to the lead. Wilde slowing down. There's 4 or 5 cars. Big crash. Mawson into the wall, and Elite 220 car flying through the air.
I expect a safety car, surely.
There must be one. Has to be. Goodness me, this car's flying hundreds of feet in the air.
It's still all kicking off as well down
there.
Still
no safety car. Still making contact. And one of the CQR cars, Mawson comes, big crash again. I think that's Pete Newman and John Roberts.
The wheel-to-wheel barging that's going on here, there and everywhere at the moment. Can't keep up with it. And
then at the front of the field, we will see, I'm not even sure who's in the lead, to be honest, Alex.
Yeah, Mark
Kardich. Then is that Ashley Sutton in P2?
Yes, it is.
How has he done that? He somehow got up there. Now surely he's the favourite to win this race, Alex.
Yeah, you would have to think so. Simon Field, though, is right behind him, so equally as impressive start. And Stefano Giuriali as well. We know how quick he is in race pace. So Stefan Hoog as well in 5th, and Svidovic in 6th. So I'll tell you what, all that reverse grid meant absolutely nothing at the start there, because they all took each other out. So I'm not sure what happened. I think what happened was the front two actually got slowdown penalties for cutting the inside of turn 1 sideways there, and they checked up and no one knew what was going on behind them, and just carnage.
I think it was now correct me if I'm wrong, because I honestly didn't really, it was all a bit of a blur, but I think it was possibly Giureali or Rushworth. It was an Elite 220 car that came through. Might have actually been Laura Bond, and trying to avoid Wild, moved the cross. Mawson was there, and then that all kicked it off.
Well, we can have a little look at it back.
Got a replay?
Yeah, let's. I'm not too sure how far.
And Sutton's through into the lead. Just thought I'd mention that, but yeah, I mean that's kind of expected at this point. But Ashley Sutton now well and truly in control of this one.
Yeah, let's just take
championship contenders. Actually, Alex, all nose to tail: Field, Hoog, Svidovic, and Rushworth.
Yeah, just seeing them on the screen at the
Lopez.
moment.
How did those guys all magically make it through? That's tremendous.
Just trying to see if I can get a replay up. It's doesn't seem to want to be playing ball, unfortunately. Does this from time to time. Can be frustrating.
So there were all sorts of people involved in that collision. Trying to see exactly who. I'm trying to make almost a list of people who were involved. So I think we'll see once we come around another lap. See properly exactly what happened in terms of casualties. Peter Van Gogh, Peter Newman, Ben Palmer, Laura Bond, Tim Mawson, Dave Taylor, Richard Wilde, the pole sitter, Robert Graham, Andrew Whitehead, John Roberts, Eckhart von Glan, Niels Jordan, Scott Malcolm. They were all involved. Gordon Wilson's in the pits. Brostrom was in. I think Gearing was in as well. What a mess. Absolute mess. And how there wasn't a safety car, I absolutely have no idea.
Yeah, no, me neither. I mean, if it's got to come out at any time, I mean...
I don't think it would have made a lot of difference, because they were all still crashing into each other anyway.
Yeah, true. I mean, when you consider what happened at Suzuka, and we saw 2 safety cars that week, there's no different. In fact, this was probably worse, as I think we've just got Field having to defend from Hoog, is that? Yeah, it is.
It is, and Hoog's up the inside into Magulaho. Down the hill, it's very tricky. Left-hander, now all on that AstroTurf on the outside. Alex, is that definitely the fastest line to open up Young Cal?
It does open it up, and until the iRacing service puts a 1x for doing it, it's going to happen time and time again.
Svidovic up the inside of Field. I think Field might have a little bit of aero damage.
Yeah, he does look particularly slow there, and he's got Rushworth behind him as well, followed closely behind. Rushworth is Lopez.
Cardic having a look on Stefano Giureali into turn 1, so Giureali maintains second. He's going to set off after Ashley Sutton now. Sutton's pace wasn't fantastic in race 1, was it, Alex? I wonder if he's still feeling the effects of Knock Hill. Yeah,
as he runs a little bit wide. Yeah, it's no surprise. I mean,
it was terrifying.
He might be in the comfort of his own home in a race cockpit or something like that.
Rushworth on Field.
He's still going to be a little bit sore, I have to think.
It was a truly terrifying accident. I think he had he either had locked, either his rear brakes didn't work, or I think was what he said. But we might be able to hear from him later on. But Russell Laidler is up from what I believe was 19th place. He's up into 9th place at the minute.
Got a little gap ahead of him before he catches up with this big old gaggle. That's,
there we go.
The last car is Adekoba Lopez in there, and Lopez having a look up the inside of Field, I believe that is, just ahead.
Yeah, just 3 seconds separates the top 8, just 2 seconds separates 2nd to 8th place. Giureali though, lightly moving away now. Can he catch Ashley Sutton? He looks like he's gained maybe a 10th or 2.
Yeah, gap down to 1.2 seconds, so... And
he's going to pick up the slipstream, isn't he?
gap in Mark as well, so good show.
Look
again.
at Hoog.
Yeah, Hoog around the outside, he's going to get a run. We know how confident he is for taking this wide line. He had many attempts at it in the last race.
Good car positioning by Cardiff.
Yeah, great defensive driving actually.
Oh, he was slightly poor through 2 though. Just washed out a little bit, not enough speed through there, and he's in trouble now down this back straight. Stefan Hoog, the Swiss driver.
Yeah, Svidovic having a look as well. I think that's Richardson just behind.
Oh, Rushworth is there as well. Hoog. Svidovic is going to lose out to Rushworth, I think, here if he's not careful. Oh, and he's pushing him. He's on the grass. What's Ferradura? And Stefan Hoog is maintaining that position. He's through on Kardic, as is Svidovic, as is Rushworth. And it looks like Adeko Lopez is going to follow them through. Not a bad strategy maybe for Kardic now to just sit behind these guys and just wait.
Yeah, I think so. He's not going to hold on to that position. He's going to. Lopez has got the high ground here. Like you say, you never know what will happen between them. We've seen a lot of rubbing of bumpers this weekend already.
Lopez had the pace to win the race, didn't he? In race 1, he would have won the race, but for letting Rushworth through on the line, which actually, considering Lopez is kind of a part-timer this season, is a smart thing to do, really. Yeah,
absolutely.
Good team driving, as you'd appreciate that, I think.
0.7 seconds is the gap at the front, according to my live timing, so...
Wow, and he's going to pick up the toe, isn't he, Giuriali? Just at that distance, but does the dirty air affect these cars too much, Alex?
But actually, I think you actually gain a little bit of advantage being behind, not with the dirty air so much, but the draft actually gives you a net gain rather than a loss compared to some of the aero cars that the understeer is pretty radical.
Guessing on a track like this though, mate, it's a bit more pronounced, isn't it? A few long straights.
Exactly, I think from Yuncao all the way up to where they are now, it's a huge advantage, and the corners are so slow for the rest of the circuit actually that dirty air is really not too much of a problem.
Only maybe up here at the top of the hill. But again, I mean, it's such a... I've just noticed a few drivers just going very wide on the outside of turn 3. Is that something that's... Will that get you a 1x through there?
I don't think it does actually. I don't think it gains you anything either. So it's just perhaps the front wheel drive understeer that creeps in with these cars that sometimes you just push out a little bit there, and it looks like Hoog coming under a little bit of pressure behind Giuriali here.
Wojciech, isn't it? And Davidovic. So can the championship leader put even more pain onto Stefan Hoog, who he finished in front of in the last race? But look at Hoog, his car's spotless this time around, Alex. It definitely wasn't in race 1.
Sorry about that, just mildly distracted there for the moment.
Hoog's car, it's not knackered this time.
No, exactly. I'm away with the fairy somewhere, I think. Sorry about that.
I don't know where you were. Giuriali was having a look into turn 1 as well.
Svidovic puts the fastest lap into the race there as well.
So all the cars now that we can see the championship contenders in this group. Ashley Sutton leads. Stefano Giuriali in second. Third is Stefan Hoog. Fourth is Wojciech Svidovic. Then it's Jamie Rushworth. Adeko Lopez in 6th. And then you've got actually Field behind the lapped car of Ben Gregory, who's had a unlucky start to this race. Mark Kardic 8th. Now if Kardic can hang on to a top 10, I think he'll be thoroughly satisfied. I think DMR will be very pleased.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just give a shout out to DMR right now. Hydrographics. There you go, David. I am watching the chat that is going on, and that's where I'll get distracted. Your plug is in.
You can see them all. I'm up in the iRacing balloon palace. Terrific shots of going through that infield section. Ashley Sutton leading the way. See that bright yellow CQR machine?
Yeah, actually, I think he's going to be under the cosh this time. Giuriali looks closer than he's ever been. 0.3 of a second coming out of Yuncao.
You'll be able to see just the effect of the slipstream down towards turn 1. Well, they'll actually go up towards turn 1 and then down over the crest. You can see Sridovic, Alex, he's very close to Hoog. He's going to be able to mount a challenge into the centre S's.
Yeah, we'll keep a little eye on that. In the background, in the end, everybody just stays put.
Oh, a little nudge from Giuliani on Sutton. Stefano looking to make his presence felt. As I heard, I think.
Was that somebody in the pits or something? Yeah, I heard that as well in the
background. A
background.
bit of contact. Oh, there it was. It's Hefford, was it?
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was in the end.
Oh, it was Steve Hefford missing his braking point. Let's have a little look and see exactly what happened to him. Hefford went over the inside curb, didn't really do any damage. Pretty sure? It sounded like a crash.
Yeah, very strange. You saw the puff of smoke there as well, so...
Hefford did make a meal of turn 1, but I don't think that was exactly what didn't make the noise we anticipated. It's Giuliani, look, he's all over him now. Right up his sphincter. Was he going through?
Oh, on the inside, Sutton perhaps left that a little bit late. That's let Hoog get a little bit closer, but also Svidovic having a little look as well in the background.
The first time, Alex, since Silverstone that Ashley Sutton's found himself on the major defensive against pretty much all the championship contenders in a row.
Yeah, 1.9 seconds covers the top 6 cars at the moment.
Who knows if Giuliani might not put himself in the contention for the top 5 in the championship by the end of it. If he keeps driving like this, there's no danger of that. Definitely will. You see he's going around the outside of Sutton. Can Sutton, we know he's late on the brakes and he nerfs Giuliani. They both make contact. I think that was 50-50. Didn't give the space though. I'm not sure if Sutton didn't give any space for Giuliani.
No, I'm not sure there. Looked a little bit like a squeeze there, I have to say. But
that's not the place you want to get squeezed though, is it? You run out of road very quickly on the outside.
Yeah. Giuliani manages to hold on to it on the outside. He's lost touch of this group, but he's still in that fight.
Ashley was late on the brakes, but he's gone a bit wide. Stefan Hoog up the inside now. Through turn 5, but it's very difficult to get far enough in front to make Ferradura work. Hoog gonna have to be careful because Sridovic's championship rival is right there. Sridovic is gonna go past Hoog. Oh, on the inside, he hits Sutton. Good car control from Ashley. He steps on the throttle pedal.
Lopez round the outside of Rushworth as well. We're basically 2 by 2.
5 cars then. As Hoog breaks very late into Pinheiro. Down through Magulho. And Rushworth's gone through on Adenko over Lopez, Alex.
Yeah, I think actually that's just Rushworth holding on to his position there. And Giuliani, with all that battling, is right back on the tail of this pack.
So Sutton and Hoog, and you see Hoog weaving around all over the place looking for an opening. He's going to get a bit of draft from behind, isn't he, from Sridovic?
Yeah,
and again he's trying the same move. Trying to run his rival off the road. Not off the road, that sounds a bit harsh, but just trying to negate the space for the man attacking.
Yeah, there's no steadfast rule in having to leave room on the outside. I mean, it's just a bit of a courtesy, I think, but there's nothing in the sporting code or the series code that says you have to leave that room.
It's harsh, but it's it's almost pretty fair. He's gone very wide though there.
That's actually all of the drivers are going to steam on through there. Sutton down to 4th. Is he going to lose another place to Lopez? He's having a look. Lopez is going to have to leave this cutback late if he's going to do it.
And Hoog and Sridovic side by side up the hill.
Svidovic decided he's probably better off to cover off Rushworth.
Wojciech pulling out from the slip shot. Oh, there's a bit of contact behind from Rushworth and Sutton having a bashing good time.
Yeah, Jamie just going to have to hold it on the inside this time. He's going to be able to do that. Lopez tries to follow him around. It's going to be side by side with Sutton. Sutton just, again, moves his car into the place. Stops Lopez from getting a run.
Thinking about it. Got it under control in through Young Cow, and he's got a nice run on Rushworth here.
And that's Phil joined this battle as well, so we've now got 7 cars in this pack.
Rushworth's got a bit of damage, Alex, on the rear. Fields actually got some on the front. Mark Cardiff still 8th. He's ahead of, he's 3 seconds ahead of Russell Laidler. Steve Hefford up into 10th place. Good work from him.
Sutton up the inside of Rushworth. Into turn 1.
Rushworth stands his ground. Bit of touch from Adeko Lopez on Ashley Sutton. One of the Laser Tools cars. Again, Alex, another symptom of poor qualifying, wasn't it? They were all involved in that melee. As we see, Hoog and Sredovic still side by side up into Reto Aposta.
Yeah, Hoog runs a little bit wide this time. I think that's going to be Svidovic through.
On panels, bashing, scraping along. And Stefan Hoog is trying the inside line. Sredovic gliding through Ferreira a little bit, looking into Miko Di Pato, but there's no room there. This is why these guys are fighting for the championship, Alex, isn't it? It's great stuff.
Those two just broke away a little bit, that tiny little battle, and all of a sudden he put Jamie right on him again, having a look himself up the inside here.
All it takes, so you've always said it, is a few corners of side-by-side action. You can lose 3 or 4 seconds. Lopez looking on Sutton. There's contact.
A bit of touch.
Sutton's not always not going to like that, goodness me. Right through. And Lopez is all over him here. I have to think he's going through this time. I think Adeko Lopez is trying to put a few manners on the CQR car. He's saying, I'm a former champion. You know, give me the respect I deserve. We'll see if there's any respect shown down into the centre S's this time. Oh, not really. Oh, and Giuliani. Oh, and Lopez is in the wall.
Yeah, that's it. Those two are going to be out. So just a little bit too
out of
much.
the race. Surprised he decided to quit out there. He only really hit the back of the didn't really hit the wall with the back of the car, Alex. It wasn't really a hard collision.
Yeah, I think he probably could have continued there. Might have been a little bit of embarrassment last lap as well. Makes that move, takes out Lopez. Not what Elite 220 wanted. But
a bit messy, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Last lap.
Why not?
You can always go for those kind of moves.
Rudovic's taking a lot of curb. Oh, and just nudging Stefan Hoog. And this is going to carry on.
Bump and run, bump and run.
You think this is going to carry on for the rest of the lap? Jamie Rushworth, his car is immaculate on the front end. Not so much on the rear. Hoog defending the lead. Down through Magolo for the final time. Into Young Cow, is there going to be a move? Oh no, Wojciech's made a bit of a mess of that. Going to get a run on Hoog. Yeah, I think he might, you know.
I think Rushworth's probably got the best of the run. Actually, it seemed like that little trip over the outside curb there slowed his chances up, and I think Hoog's far enough ahead here to hold on to round 14 victory.
Hoog towards the line and he wins at Interlagos. Stefan Hoog. That's brilliant from the Swiss. Sutton in 4th. Then Field. Cardiff 6th in the end. That's really good from him. Very nice finish for Mark there. DMR are going to be, DMR Hydroelectrics, Hydrographics are going to be really, really happy with that.
Yeah, Russell Laidler there, 7th place as well.
8th for Hefford. He hasn't had a good season at all, Hefford, but that's a really nice result. Adam Terry in 9th, Janowski 10th. That was a good race from him. Graham Carroll got up to 18th. He started down in 11th to 33rd.
Yeah, where did Lopez finish in the end of that one?
12th, Lopez. 20 seconds behind. Head of Daniel Hunt, Ellis Stevens 14th. That's a couple of good results for Stevens in the top 15. Plumley 15th, Walker 16th, then Jerome Kaiser. Robert Burton was 18th, Gearing 19th, Malcolm 20th. Uri Ali, I think, was classified possibly 21st or 22nd behind Niels Jordan. David Baker 23rd. One lap down though, Alex, and 23rd. Still reasonable points, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think did we pick up that if they're 2 laps down is when they don't pick up any points. So as long as they stay within that area,
one lap you're fine. So Ben Gregory won't receive any points. Down from Baker, Brusham 24th, Kraft 25th, Walker, Matt Walker 26th, Eckhart von Glan 27th, Gordon Wilson 28th, Gregory 29th, Graham 30th, Mawson. So Mawson and those down from him all retired after the first lap. So Mawson 31st, Whitehead 32nd, Smolensky, and Roberts, Wild, Taylor, Bond, Palmer, Newman, and Van Gool. Alex, what do you make of that, and especially the first lap incident? It was huge. I don't know if we can get that back on the screen.
Yeah, I'm going to
viewers on YouTube.
I'm going to try and get it back up now. I think I might actually have it here. Let's just...
I think there were actually cars which broke out of the orbit and headed towards the moon. Definitely a DEG car flying all over the place as well.
Yeah, we're up in the blimp actually, where I've managed to draw it back up. So replay of the start, we're on crash camera. We'll just see where it takes us. I think that's all we can do.
It's safe to say you'll find something with the crash camera.
I tell you what, it definitely was a slowdown for the front. What, 1, 2, 3 cars there probably? All got slowdowns. Oh yeah, you could just see them all checking up through turn 3 now, and nobody knows where to go. They're funneled into the middle of the track. You've got one guy on the outside, one on the in, and apparently we're just glued on Simon Field because the crash cam doesn't want to change.
But if you look at sort of how that started, you can see. Yeah, no, you're right actually. You're right, because Janowski was on the outside. He got the slowdown, and Wild was on the inside. And there was just absolutely nowhere for them to go, was there? So Smolensky made it through, and then it all started. You had Bond, who was Bond was unsighted by one of the Lugnuts cars. So she went to the inside, found Richard Wild there, and then by the time she came across, she came back across to the middle of the track, unfortunately Tim Mawson was there, and that was the end for both of them. Bond's car, Bond stayed out of that was what happened, wasn't it? Bond hit the wall, came back on trying to save it, hits Baker, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Laura Bond was about 100 feet in the air, and then you had all sorts going on behind. I don't know how there wasn't a safety car, really.
Cars just absolutely littering the track. I have no idea myself. You know, people are stopped. Oh god, it's just crazy. It just yeah, I should have watched the replay back. Just looks like a destruction derby out there. So yeah, that puts Suzuka to shame, I think. Like
I said, mate, I think the fact that I think even if there was a safety car, I think they were still wrecking all the way down the straight. I don't think it would have made a lot of difference. They were wrecking for about 30 seconds after that, like between the lot of them. So yeah, it was definitely an eventful one, an eventful start to round 14. And you see Ashley Sutton actually on the first lap forcing his way through up into second place. That was really what made his race and allowed him to get up into fourth. I think definitely struggled a little bit on this track, but still a solid fourth place. Good points for him.
Yeah, so, I just thought I would have a quick look at the replay from his point of view as well. Actually, let's go right into the roll bar and have a little look, see what it looked like from on board. Quite a way back, if we saw how many places he made up.
So it makes a really good start off the line. Closes on the guys in front of him. Look, he was just behind Mawson, Alex. But he managed to get past Mawson. That was the key, wasn't it? Because that was that area, and he was actually hit in the first corner by an Elite 220 car.
Yeah, he actually got, like you say, when we were on board from the roll bar there, he manages just thread the needle through all of the cars and get out of the real danger zone before it actually started up. So
he managed to get past Field as well pretty early, which is quite important for him. But then let's see how he gets up into P2. Take us through, Alex.
Just looking through it there as well. There's just a little bit of coming together and some bumping and barging. He slipped through the inside or up the middle, and finds himself into P2. So amazing first lap, really. Certainly didn't. There might have been some chat about being a little bit aggressive in there, but I don't think he was. I think he just predicted what was going on and stayed out of trouble.
I think, yeah, no, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything untoward from him on the first lap. I think he was very brave driving, especially with cars left and right all over the place. It was really, really good from him. But well, see what these guys can do in race 3. But all the championship contenders, Alex, made it through that melee, and that was, and they were behind. They were behind the initial contact, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, actually, when you think back, I know some guys will be really frustrated that they were caught up in that, but we didn't have a great race after that initial collision as well. That sort of 5-6 cars nip and tuck pretty much for the whole race. A little bit of contact here and there, but for the most part pretty tidy until what was it, the last lap really there. So just put the end to the top 7 finishing within 2 seconds of each other. I
don't know if you can just quickly, just before we roll the dice for race 3, have a look at the start from look at Richard Wilde and Yulian Janowski. They didn't touch in the first corner.
No, they just got
synchronized drifting.
Yeah, they got themselves all sideways. It was all sort of all on them, unfortunately, and they both those guys over the inside, and that's what caused the slowdown. It
looked like a D1 competition in Japan, but excellent work there to keep it on the road. But unfortunately, the slowdown penalties. You can see Wilde is trying to stay as far to the inside as he can, but yeah, then the ensuing melee was just too much for a lot of drivers.
Right, magic dice time. We are up on screen, as always, 3 dummy rolls before we pick pole position. So that's 2 and 3. It's just on. I promise you, all numbers are there. It was only 18 and 20 that show. So this time, number 17.
It's your own Kaiser again.
Your own.
At the front of the grid for race 3.
Well, I have to say, he's got a particularly strong chance, and we know your own's no slouch and shouldn't really have been there. It's mainly due to having to fight back, I think, from that first round where he got caught up in that crash. So, yeah, going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. So, tune in with us in about 10 minutes' time, I believe. Right, Mr. Woodhouse, thank you very much for this one. We'll be back, like I say, about 10 minutes' time. See you all there in just a moment.
Indeed.